And sometimes you just got to love the fact that, okay, he's a Darth Vader with a fetish, that's okay sometimes. If it works, and it does. Welcome to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. We're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. Bob, a former revolutionary, but his past catches up with him. His teenage daughter is kidnapped, and to get her back, say it with me, everyone, it's one battle after another.
You have to understand, Willa.
Me and Mom used to run around and do some real bad shit. They got her. Now they're coming after us. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
Dad, what is wrong with you?
And every episode we answer the big question.
And that big question is, what's a film that you consider really good cinema? It's really, really good, but you're only going to watch it once and you're not going to watch it again.
With an early Rotten Tomatoes score of 150, One Battle After Another has a lot of hype going into it. How about an initial take from Justin Bradford?
So it's long. You have to dedicate a lot of time to go and watch this movie, and it is pacing nonstop to where it doesn't necessarily feel that long, but it is like you're trying to keep your head above water the entire time. Like I'm gasping for air, trying to understand, like Bob, just what the hell is going on. But in terms of it's a very heavy film. There's so obviously racial undertones and overtones because there's some things that just aren't undertones. So it's very heavy and it hits me hard in some of the ways when we're treating the Latin American community as well too, and what they're having to go through. And you're seeing struggle that is not just about present times, but about just what people have had to suffer through and be challenged with for decades upon decades upon decades in the U.S. So it's a curious exploration of not just one battle after another and what Bob's character, Leonardo DiCaprio, is going through and what his challenge is, but also kind of a look at what's going on in our country right now too. But it's extremely heavy. There are some moments where you do get to breathe, where the audience laughed, and I felt like they meant for the audience to laugh, to have that brief moment of, okay, you can catch your breath. Yep. I did enjoy the music in this one as well too. I felt like it actually helped move the movie along, but it also, with the pacing, drove that pacing so much that it made my heart continue to just nonstop beat. It's great to see it on the big screen, but it's one of those things where I feel like people are starting to consider this great art because it's good cinema, and they're putting it on a pedestal before it needs to be put on a pedestal.
All right.
That's
so maybe premature.
Maybe premature. I think there's a film like this needs to age a little bit. More people need to see it. There needs to be further discussions. It kind of bodes with what our big question is going to be. For me, I understand the great cinema and the work put behind this, the cinematography, the acting. So much is good in this film, but I don't need to see it again.
Okay. I really nerded out on this movie. I don't think I realized how much of a Paul Thomas Anderson fan I was until I saw this movie. And it then reminded me of some of the great things that I just love. There's some great scenes, characters from previous movies. And to me, it was a delight for a movie nerd. I love the way this movie was filmed. I love the way he uses pop music in the soundtrack, from Steely Dan to Ella Fitzgerald doing Christmas carols. I love that stuff. And the way this film was, the photography in this was incredible. I have never seen a car chase look like this. And we've been seeing car chases since, Cars. The 19-teens, yeah. It's been a while. So there was just so much that I found delightful in this movie, and I think it's going to have the resonance of like iconic characters, and I don't know if it's premature. I'm not saying it's premature. I think it's maybe warranted. It's a great movie.
I'm going to use my initial take, asking you guys a question. Okay? It's not meant to be snarky. or sarcastic. It is a legit question for you guys.
Oh boy.
Okay. If this came out in 2013, would it have the same glow around it for you guys? That is the question.
I'll ask you this: because of the political overtones in the movie, is that why you're?
I'm trying to steer.
that the-
I'm trying to steer clear of what's going on right now in America.
Sure.
Obviously, a lot of these things have happened for decades. No one's saying that. Oh, they just miraculously appear over the last 10. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I just mean the way the society is now, how fine-tuned we are, and how in tune we are to these issues that are horrific and horrible and terrible. They were still happening in 2012 and 2006 and blah, 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 but they weren't as hot button issues. So my question is, can you remove the era that we're in and this still has the same shine to you? That is the question I'm asking. Because I feel like this is getting so much acclaim and buzz and luster because it's a illustration of what is happening. And so I'm trying to ask the question, if remove all that, would it be the same?
I think there's an element of that, but I think because of the way the film's made and that it's great filmmaking in general, you'd still be getting the buzz from movie nerds, from critics. You'd still be getting the critics' buzz about it. Is there an element of that you're saying? Absolutely. I think it'd be dumb to ignore that because,
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
It's a
art
big part of this movie.
Yeah, art reflects what's happening in society
Yes.
all the time,
Yes.
even if it isn't meant to.
Yes.
We see that happen all the time. But I still think because the elements of movie making in general are elite in this movie, it would still be generating buzz. Different kind of buzz, maybe, but not.
Yeah. I would agree because I don't think this movie, even though these are not subplots, right? The political,
Sure.
overtones that are in this movie, they're big parts of the movie, but there is so much else in the movie that I think it does stand without it being feeling is so topical. Let's talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. Why am I still dumbfounded at his ability to melt into a character? I mean, it's what he does. And I not even 5 minutes, and I bought Bob.
You're right. He's a chameleon. He just seeps right into whatever role it is. And within 20 seconds of him on screen, you're like, yep, I believe he is that guy. I've never seen him anything else before. That is a totally unique person I've never seen. It's pretty amazing.
And you see a flash forward, for most of the movie, it's 15, 16 years after the beginning of the movie. So I really, two characters, because he's a completely different dude once time has elapsed and he's just been a father. So credit to him. Sean Penn, Colonel Lockjaw.
Here we go.
I know a lot of us, we went into this movie purposely blind. I did not know Sean Penn was in it. Did you guys know it was him right off the bat?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I knew he was in just from promotions that I've seen on social media, but I didn't know what his character was or anything like that until he appeared on screen.
His character, by the way, was cartoonish and ridiculous.
That's
just my opinion.
It was.
But I know people are going to disagree with that. I've heard people say, "Oh, it was spectacularly done." Sorry,
it's an absurd character on purpose.
Yes.
So
why? Please explain this.
Because you want to hate him and punch him in the face.
But you can do that without him making all these weird lip. Whatever he's doing, you can do all that without all that.
It's supposed to dehumanize him by the comicalness behind it because you don't like him already right from the get go. I mean, I really think they make him cartoonish for that reason.
So hate things that are different. Then is what you're saying?
No,
because that's
I mean, yes, he's over the top, but I say in a different way than say like an Anton Chigurh in, No Country for Old Men. That's not a real character person. It's a lot, but it serves the movie well.
He's over the top because he's so confident that he's invincible, that nothing's going to happen to him. I mean,
okay.
Spoiler, I mean, look at the very end. He thinks he's in. He's kicking his feet back.
Mm-hmm.
He's so super confident that he can fix anything because he's indestructible. That's why at the very, very beginning, when she comes in, he immediately has a crush on her and everything. He's like, you can't do anything to me. What? That's cartoonish confidence.
All right, I'll give you that.
Well.
You could say cartoonish confidence with Tiana Taylor. You know, they are like souls. Mm-hmm. They recognize each other, something in each other that is absurd, that is so over any normal thing you would ever see. Like, this movie really does take something and turns it up 8 notches.
Turned it up to 11.
Yes.
I wish it did.
Art Gover, what did you like about the movie? Because there's a lot of stuff that's rubbing you the wrong way.
The performances I really liked. Like just about all of them except for the Sean
Penn,
which you've talked me into. It's an acting choice. Okay,
you don't have to like it. I think that's the reasoning behind it. If that's where you're wondering.
Okay, let me explain the liking part. So you're saying I don't have to like it. That's true. That's fine. You're supposed to not like the guy, obviously. Okay? He's very easy to unlike. All right,
right.
He doesn't need all that stuff that I pantomimed earlier. But what he can do is typically those kinds of characters, those stereotypical, again, older white male, militant, like super old school, right? Typically, those characters are already unlikable, especially in today's day and age. So I don't think you needed to go to 11 in order to make that happen. I think he would have been just fine acting it like, but I hear what you're saying. So I'll give you that and say that the rest of the performances were amazing. I think Chase Infinity really stole the show. I think it was her movie, and she was awesome. So
she holds her own
yes.
with the heavyweights.
In her feature film debut, by the way. So she's coming on to set with the likes of DiCaprio, Del Toro, Penn, Taylor, Regina King, and she outshines probably 60% of them. Not that any of them were bad, just that's how good she was.
I think Benicio del Toro and Leonardo DiCaprio, the time they spent together as a bizarre buddy cop kind of team up, I loved every moment that they were on the screen.
It was just chaotic.
Sensei Sergio.
As Benicio was just going through all the motions. He's in control the whole time. And Bob still, again, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
That's freaking just the F out. And yeah, Sensei Sergei is just, or Sergio is just like the epitome of, I'm cool.
That's what I liked about his delivery, because you have chaos and calm, and the way that he just delivers it was great, because he's going into all the rooms. He's able to speak different languages.
He knows exactly what the plan is.
Knows the plan is, knows where everything's at, knows where everybody is. I don't think just anybody could pull that off.
He just has like a weight and a magnetism to him that he doesn't have to try very hard to convey that confidence.
Okay.
And also, who else is going to prance like that doing the DUI test?
Well, that was awesome.
I mean, that was great. It was just great the way that he just pranced along.
That was awesome.
Only 4 theaters, I think, in the world actually showed it in true VistaVision. But let's talk about the videography, the director of photography in this movie, Michael Bauman, and what he creates. He does work with Paul Thomas Anderson a lot. There's a look. What's that look? Do you like it?
I mean, I saw it in IMAX, so the entire screen was filled up the entire time, and I like that. Also, you get to see some close-up visuals of a lot of faces that way. But like you said earlier, Jim, for me, that car chase scene, just how smooth it was there at the end, the cinematography behind that, and how close you felt like you were getting to the road. It made me feel like I was right in there, and it was just so smooth.
You're hanging off the front bumper.
It was
of the car.
Smooth. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's hard for me to pinpoint a couple things because the pacing was nonstop, and it made it difficult for me to remember because, again, trying to stay afloat the entire time too.
The beautiful scene where they're escaping on the rooftop at night, and they're jumping across, from roof to roof, and he's got the kids backdrop, with these beautiful colors and everything. Of course, Bob doesn't make it, but it was absolutely gorgeous. And I don't think there's any director of photography out there that films characters from behind the glass in vehicles better than Michael Bowen. I mean, when you're seeing like a lot of the chase scenes, you're looking through the windshield. And I don't know what that is. There's reflections, but to me, it's movie nerd porn.
But the end of the chase scene, it's like, hey, boss, your dude fell 40 feet, popped up and got tased. And the way that Leonardo DiCaprio performed just the tasing was perfect. Like, it was actually hilarious. Everybody in the audience laughed, even though you're like, oh, crap, he got caught. But it was hilarious the way he got tased in that moment. Let's talk about the Christmas Adventurers Club, also known as the KKK.
That was a hilarious name.
Hilarious name, but also made me feel so uncomfortable, which was the point, right? Because they're so natural and loose about how they're talking about things and how just everything needs to be done a certain way and the superior race and all this. Yet they're in casual clothes and just having meetings about joining the club and then drilling with questions. It made me feel so uncomfortable with how casual it was, which again was the point. But knowing that people like that still do exist around the world still also made me feel uneasy because it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's to put it mildly.
And when you look at this, because the movie, obviously, no matter what, because back to Gover's point about time, when it would have been released, race has been a topic for eons.
Not what I'm talking about.
Right. No, but
yeah.
But it's been a topic for eons, right? So like the timing of this movie is more coincidental because this is a topic that has been going on for so long. No matter when you release this movie, people are going to be able to relate to something going on or had gone on, right?
Right.
I think that's the glory of that as well, too, because you have a topic that could be relative to anything going on in society.
Unfortunately, it's timeless.
Right. Just so happens there's more going on right now. But that's what also I will be honest, there was a brief moment when Benicio del Toro's character was rounding up because he's like, yeah, we kind of have a Harriet Tubman situation going on. And I got a little teary-eyed. Because I'm like, this still goes on. And it's not just in the U.S. or just with Latin Americans. With Asians, Middle Eastern, so many different races and cultures, right? Deal with this. It just hit a little bit more because you're going like, people still have to live this every day. And that's why he was so calm. Because he's like, we deal with this all the time. I got this.
Right.
Bob's still freaking out. But to get to the point of it, though, the whole thing was supposed to make you feel uneasy and start questioning some things and start thinking about things. And I know there's a lot of people saying, well, what's the point of the movie, though? The thing is just think and to talk. Well, Bob's trying to figure things out. Well, we're trying to put to light some things that could be happening behind closed doors. You never know, that are very powerful people as well, too. I mean, look how easy they're able to pull off a hit, right? On a colonel.
Right.
Somebody with power as well, too. So it's just, that's the kind of thing. There's so many layers, even though I don't have any want to see this again. I know seeing it again would probably help peel back a few more of those layers to the movie.
I can't wait to see it again. All right, it's time to score one battle after another. Let's start with Jeremy Gover.
Okay, as I wrote about on the Untitled Film Project Pod.com, and prepare yourself, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion based on my peers, based on people at this table, and based on everything I've read online, except for a few random others. One battle after another is nothing more than low-hanging fruit. It does not take very much creativity to grab the most extreme stereotype of one type of person, the extreme stereotype of another type of person, and then make a movie in between about also what's going on currently with ICE and all this other garbage that just goes on, which is freaking ridiculous. But that's not the point of this, what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to have a political soapbox here. I'm just saying that the fact that there's this cartoonish white Aryan race old militant guy. It's like, wow, that was real creative. And then they got this
Who also has a fetish.
revolutionary, right? Who also have revolutionary, super liberal, power to the people anarchist over here. It's like, okay, the best political films are commentaries on what happens in American life. Eddington this year, by the way, was a great example. Okay. This is more of a propaganda agenda film to me than it is a commentary. And that was my biggest problem with it. I expected more because I was promised this Oscar caliber film. And apparently I am very much in the minority, and that's fine. But that's what I was promised. And what I got was an agenda movie, and I didn't care for it. We've talked about the show before. We are automatically resistant when there's an agenda, whether you agree with it or not. It's automatic. I don't want to hear this. And that's what it was. It was 2 hours and 45 minutes of an agenda, and I hated it. So for me, it's a 5.5. All the points come from the acting, the performances, and the cinematography, like Jim mentioned. That's where all the points come from. This is not enjoyable for me. I did not nerd out like Jim did, and I see nothing but a slanted agenda on this, even if I agree with it. I don't want to be bombarded with that for 2 hours and 45 minutes. 5.5. I
think there's going to be there's a lot of people that will, just like yourself, because it takes a definite side, are not going to like it. That's going to turn people off, and that's okay. I think there was so much of this movie that was done great. If I look at every aspect of the movie, maybe not the writing for you, but I thought the writing was amazing. It's absurd. Yes. It's operatic, where characters are just bigger than life. And sometimes you just got to love the fact that, okay, he's a Darth Vader with a finish, that's okay sometimes. If it works, and it does. From the,
Are you imagining Darth Vader with a finish?
No, it's just at the very beginning when she's like, "Get up."
Oh yeah.
It's his lightsaber.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right. I see.
I'm with you now.
You know, you know.
I'm with you now.
Yeah,
We all know.
but
see it first.
like Sinners,
Oh, that's true.
bring it back. There was no weak link in it. There was no weakness in the performances. They were all outstanding. The videography was amazing. The score was incredible. The soundtrack was amazing. I just loved where this movie took me, and it was a wild ride, literally, for quite a bit of it. And I just put it up with the best films of the year, along with Sinners. I'm giving it a 9.5.
All right. So I'm not Jim on this, but I'm definitely not Gover.
No one else is, apparently.
Either. No, there's going to be people I see.
I've heard from one of them.
I see on Rotten Tomatoes there's some critics with some ugly scores, but also they're from publications that don't count, I guess, like the Boston Globe.
Oh, that whole thing.
No, it's interesting to me because I did not come out of that movie going, that was incredible. That was amazing. Which was a weird feeling because it's not because of the hype. It's that I appreciated the cinematography. I thought the acting performances were really well done.
Outstanding.
The music was great compared to other movies like we've talked about, Highest to Lowest, for instance, where the music was overpowering, did not mesh at all. The music really added and it was another character in this film because you had heavy scenes but where you had piano solos happening, but it didn't take away. It actually added to the
anarchy.
Yes, of the entire movie. So I really appreciated the music behind this and all that. I still did not walk out nerding out, but appreciating the goodness of cinema. And I think that is very important as well because so we look at it from our purview, right? Like Gover obviously did not mesh with the things that were going on here, even though we can appreciate acting, performances, and things like that, right?
And I want to stress, I agree with the agenda.
And Jim was just nerding out over so many things. And it was just curious to me on my feelings, still trying to figure out how I fully felt after that.
And you're just a couple hours having seen
Yeah,
it.
yes.
Like, you just saw it earlier today.
Yeah, just a few hours, and it's a few hours long. So it takes almost that amount of time to process the entire thing. The thing that keeps sticking out to me is that I was trying to keep up the entire time, which is not a good or bad thing. It's just that was the pacing. We talk about pacing sometimes in movies, how it loses it in a second act or anything. No, this is pretty much nonstop. And so while my butt was starting to hurt and I was getting a little sore from sitting for a long time, it didn't feel like it was close to, or over 3 hours, including previews and everything. My body was telling me that, but my brain wasn't. And that's a good thing. Because in long movies, your brain starts, okay, I'm going to check.
Yeah.
Right.
Killers of the Flower Moon, as good as that was, I checked my watch a couple times.
Oh my gosh. And so it's curious to me because I start thinking about movies that maybe should have been good or more worse. Like, for instance, I still really did enjoy Babylon. Not a lot of people did.
Didn't care.
Right?
Didn't like it.
Right. But for some reason, right, it clicks.
Sure.
That's what art's about, right?
course.
It's going to click with certain people.
Of course.
So that's why it's curious how I'm trying to digest this movie because I know it's good. But I don't necessarily know how to say it's good. And for all those reasons together, I can't give it a 9.5 because I can't fully just talk about it, but I'm not giving it a lower rating. So for me, it's going at an 8.5 because I appreciate so much the acting performances, the cinematography is so well done, the lighting's well done as well too, the photography so much is so good that I know it's really, really good. But for me, I cannot get over Sinners as my number one movie of the year. And then I think with this, the only thing that could potentially go over would be Wicked for Good because of my love for that franchise and everything there. But in terms of overall movie, Sinners is still my number one. So I'm comparing in my mind everything to Sinners about the not missing a beat on things. So how did I feel coming out of this? It's not where I came out of Sinners going, I can't wait to see that again. That was incredible movie making. This was cinema, everything, boom, boom, boom. So that for me, that's my reasoning behind it as well.
I love that both Sinners and One Battle After Another are a direct, like an auteur's like vision, a singular vision that you're just not going to get from somebody else. And let's credit Warner Brothers, who have given us Sinners, Weapons, not saying it's elite art house or anything.
No, but it's,
That's really good.
But like, thank you for the original stories told in one person's vision, like nobody else would tell it. And like, because these decisions were probably made 3 or 4 years ago when they were greenlit. So I know Warner Brothers has taken a lot of slack from me and a lot of other people, and rightly so. But credit to them. This year, they've just put out some really great original stuff. All right, it's time to answer the big question from every episode.
That big question is, what is a film you consider really good cinema, but you're only going to watch it once? You have no want to watch it again, even though you loved it, you greatly appreciate it, but you don't need to put yourself through it again.
Gover.
I can start with this one. I think it's Castaway. Really enjoyed that movie in the theater, immersed with it. It's basically a Tom Hanks monologue for 2 hours, right? It's excellent filmmaking, but I don't want to go see it again. I love that I was so invested in it in the moment. I love that I loved it. I will rave about it until I'm dead, but I will never buy it and I will never watch it again.
How much of that do you think has to do with the runtime? Because movies that are longer, or at least I don't even remember how long. I think Castaway is a longer movie, but that factors in on whether I'm going to watch a movie again. As much as I love Oppenheimer, that's an investment.
I agree with that because I'll put Forrest Gump in there. I think Forrest Gump was excellent cinema as well. Obviously, iconic character, it's meme worthy if there was memes back then. Like all these incredible soundtrack, all these wonderful things, right? I don't want to invest the time to see that again.
Oh, I could watch Forrest Gump often.
See, so I have. So
yeah,
but my point though is that the runtime does factor in. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. To me, I don't know if this was the obvious answer to me. It was Saving Private Ryan.
Oh. All right. Well,
wow,
we got two Tom Hanks films.
It's right. It's so well done, but I don't think I could watch the beach scene. The first half hour of that movie is just it's devastating.
It's so well done that it's heavy.
Yes. And that is definitely one of those I do not want to go to there. As Liz Lemon would say on 30 Rock. That's just, it hurts. It's difficult. It's supposed to. But I think for that reason, I can't go through that again. It just churns me up.
All right. For me, it's going to be 1917. Sam Mendes film.
Okay.
You know, a lot one shot and everything. So incredible cinema, incredible cinematography. So well done.
Great answer.
Extremely heavy. So heavy. Again, war movies tend to be like that, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless it's Pearl Harbor. And then you're like, come on.
Yeah.
But
Cheese in there.
a little more cheese.
Cotton candy.
Yeah. So 1917, really, really good cinema. Great cinema. Fantastic movie. Obviously won plenty of awards as well too. But it has not ever come to me to where I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched in a while 1917. I'm going to go watch 1917 again. But still appreciate so much of how that movie was made and seeing the behind the scenes of how they were getting these one shots done in so many of them. And you think of the people power that it takes, especially in a war movie, to pull off lots of really long one shots. It's incredible to see
explosions.
Yes, and the mistakes that were made that actors overcame to keep the shot rolling. I appreciate that so much, and I actually appreciate it more after the fact when you realize how it's made. And that's where I'm like, I'm good. I've even learned more about it after the fact, so I am very good now.
It's an excellent answer. Thank you.
Schindler's List. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like where the subject matter, like you can't be happy there. And I think that's an element of the rewatchability of a movie is, you know, where how much can I enjoy a movie because of how brutal it can be. And it's tough.
We want to know yours. So leave them in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or, you know, add us on social media. We'd love to open this dialogue, figure out what your movie is that you absolutely love. You think it's great art or cinema, however you want to classify it, but you're like, yeah, I one and done. I'm good.
The Whale.
I didn't think it was great.
Thought it was good, but I am not watching that again.
There's a bunch of Darren Aronofsky movies that you never want to watch again. How many times are you throwing Black Swan on like once a week? Hey, honey, let's sit down.
I mean, there could be scenes from Black Swan.
Okay,
that doesn't count.
Okay, we're done.
Roll the credits.
You put it out there.
Roll the credits.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.